Hey guys, welcome back to Real Housewives Recaps. I am so glad you're here. Pull up a chair, pour some tea. I kind of said tear there, tea and chair. Pull up a chair, pour some tea. Let's talk about the ego warriors. That's right, that time I said it on purpose. You guys, he launched an extraordinary, scathing review, well-deserved review of these two and their latest antics, and I want to react to it. So if you want to see the uninterrupted version, it is here on YouTube. You can find it. Search Piers Morgan, and it's called An Insult. If you want to see me react to it, well, then you've come to the right place. So we'll be pausing, we'll be talking. I can't wait to hear your thoughts on this one. Let's take a look. Thanks for being here. I'm Jen. Honk, honk, everyone.
The royal family is besieged right now. Our king has cancer. Princess Catherine's recovering from serious abdominal surgery that will keep her away from public duties until at least Easter. The monarchy is unquestionably still finding its footing after the death of the late Queen. But through every crisis, one man has stood firm against the barrage, resolutely maintaining a pretty special gift for making everything all about him.
Ooh, we're off to the races. Okay, I'm so excited. I love it when he lays into these two. I haven't done this in a while where I just sat and watched him and reacted, and I'm so thrilled to be here. I love that he does not hold back, and he has called these two out since the beginning. Go, Piers.
Yes, Prince Harry is back on our screens, and I suspect a lot of people shared my excitement when they heard this.
Well, this part I can't play. This is the Good Morning America interview that Harry did. You know the one. All right, that's what Piers is referencing, the one that he just did in Canada.
Well, fortunately, Harry emerged unscathed and made it back up the slopes to deliver a heartwarming message of peace and reconciliation. At least that was the plan.
So what he's showing here is when the host asks just a softball question about, how are you dealing with it? How are you processing everything going on with the royal family right now? And Harry is such a prick. I talked about I may have been talking about on Patreon. It doesn't matter. I talked about this. He was such a prick in this answer. He couldn't just answer it. He just said, I have my own family. Like, fuck off, Harry.
Really? Even in a schmaltzy softball interview with American breakfast television, Harry is prickly and defensive, and with good reason. Illness will bring us back together, he says, before immediately clarifying that he's staying on the opposite side of the world because actually he's got plenty of his own things to be getting on with. But rest assured, loyal subjects, he'll still pop in when he feels like it, if he can.
Yeah, that was part of it too. The prick was like, I have plans to go back. But no specifics. I'm sure you do, Harold. I'm sure you do.
Time permitting. Later in the same interview, Harry makes a stunning admission that he's not considering becoming an American citizen. You know what it might be? You have to give up your titles if you become a US citizen.
This is exactly what I've been saying. There is no freaking way either of them are going to give up those titles. I think he throws things like this around to keep his name out there, and possibly, I don't know, as he thinks it might be a threat toward the royal family. I bet they're going, woohoo!
I'd say the biggest senior member of the British royal family, whose only remaining relevance comes from monetising his ever-weakening royal links, is a pretty obvious barrier. Whether the US authorities would even consider making Harry a citizen after he gloated about his prodigious use in his memoir Spare is another issue. And just hours after revealing that he might abandon Britain for good, Harry began his briefings all over again. This time let it be known that, heroically, he's prepared to don his ginger cape and soar back to Britain, fulfilling some of the ailing king's duties while he's treated.
Talk about this too. This is such BS. I actually put this, I think, in Monday's video. Such BS that he is peddling, and he's putting out there saying he'd be willing to fly back and be a part-time royal again? No thanks. We don't need you. Yes, I say we because I'm an honorary Brit now, so...
In a typically irritating millennial missive, Harry has offered a, quote, hybrid working model, the regal equivalent of meeting on Zoom in your underpants.
Okay, I love that example so much. But yeah, I think Piers is spot on here. This is deja vu all over again with them. This is what they do. They're doing the Sussex royal thing again, even though they're not supposed to. She's doing the podcast again, even though it failed. They just keep doing the same things.
All very valiant, Harry, but there's one little problem. Nobody wants you back. 4 years ago, Harry and Meghan abandoned the royal family and the monarchy and resigned their royal duties to embark on a new life in California.
Can you believe it's been 4 years? Just think about the downfall since then. Again, that they've brought on themselves. Anybody else, I'd actually feel sorry for them. Not these two. They did it to themselves and continue to do it to themselves.
The late Queen was crystal clear at the time. You cannot be half in, half out. If you go, you're gone for good. And it seems that the King himself has agreed with that. Harry jetted into the UK immediately after hearing his father's cancer diagnosis. No one can criticise him for that.
Sorry, Piers, I can and I will, and I am going to criticize him for that, because now, upon learning about this GMA interview and what a prick he was there, and just everything that sounds like it went on, he did it for the publicity. So yeah, I can criticize him for that.
But he might have been surprised at the less than hearty reception. The King's aides made Harry stay in a hotel. He was allowed just one hasty 30-minute meeting at Clarence House.
I love correcting this part. Sounds like it was more like 15 minutes, something like that.
Not at Sandringham, where the King flew off on his helicopter to recuperate. Because, you know why? They were kind of worried that they wouldn't get rid of Harry, and also a little bit worried that someone who's committed all the private thoughts of his family to books and podcasts and television interviews in a scathing, derogatory manner might just do it all over again. They also knew that the King is a 75-year-old man being treated for a very serious illness and needs time to rest. He doesn't need to be part of the ongoing Sussex psychodrama. Now compare and contrast the dignified behaviour of Prince William, who's been taking care of his wife and only just returned to public duties. Last night he attended the BAFTAs and glided around the place with the gravitas and decorum that he always does. No vainglorious narcissism, no attention-seeking, no self-pity.
Absolutely loved seeing it. I think he did a fantastic job. Even if you go back and watch his red carpet entrance, talking about, of course, Prince William, he did such a great job. He was very courteous and polite, but it was definitely not about him in the spotlight. It's just that he's just wonderful. Okay, let's keep going.
Of course, there was no meeting at all last week between Harry and his brother. Harry's supporters, apparently there are some of them somewhere.
Hi, Sugars, if you're watching. I can't believe there are some too. I guess a few of them left on the payroll. Or more likely, it's just Meghan and Omid just on a bunch of different devices commenting.
Felt that was spiteful. Really? They must have had the recall skills of a goldfish. Don't forget that this time last year, the royals were still reeling from Harry and Meghan's Netflix show, which condemned Britain and the monarchy as irredeemably racist and torched the reputations of their closest family members. Harry went on to maul his own brother in that show and smeared his own father, the King, as a liar. The monarchy was directly accused of destroying two of its own to protect itself. Even the late Queen was appallingly presented as a dupe, manipulated by sinister courtiers in a dark plot to smear the poor Sussexes. As if that 6-hour onslaught of sycophancy and sedition wasn't enough, along came the memoir. Across 416 pages of pure poison, the Prince of Privacy revealed toe-curling details about excruciating and deeply personal disputes with his family.
He goes on to play a little part of Spare that I can't play, but I'm going to tell you, I want to remind you, not only did he do all this, I think it was at the end of Spare, right around that time, he put out, but I hope I can resolve this with my brother and father in private.
We all laughed, of course. But do you think William laughed at that? The man who will be our next monarch would laugh at being ridiculed and mocked in that manner?
Context, the clip he played was about William pushing him and breaking his necklace, allegedly.
By his own brother? Is it really any wonder that Prince William wants nothing to do with him? The Prince of Wales is now facing up to the massive responsibility that awaits him as Britain's next head of state, but his own brother has gone out of his way to shatter his reputation and that of his wife. Why on earth would he want to reconcile with someone like that?
Exactly this. Exactly what we've all been saying. Why on earth would any of them want to reconcile with Harry? It doesn't make any, Harry or Meghan, it doesn't make any sense. They've repeatedly attacked them over and over and continue to do it. No.
It's been a relentless one-way attack. That was a low point for Harry, but Harry, well, he can always find a way to go lower, digging deeper and deeper until he finds the gutter. He called Camilla, the new queen and the love of his father's life, dangerous and a villain. Reportedly, he refused to even be in the same room as her when he came over on his mercy mission last week. Harry's also boasted about his drug use and losing his virginity. He revealed the number of people he killed in Afghanistan, breaking all normal rules of how the military behave. He spilled details from intensely private conversations with the king, who'd begged him not to make his final years a misery. We don't need to wait for history to judge how he's getting on with that. And as the global media he supposedly loathes gorged on the red meat he'd toss them.
Love Piers when he goes here. That's exactly what I've been saying. He pretends to loathe them, continues to feed them.
Harry did precisely what any dignified member of Britain's proudest institution would never do. He toured the TV studios with lurid tidbits for clapping seals.
All right, he cuts to the Stephen Colbert interview and talk about the Todger and the face cream. I can't do that. Let's keep going.
Was that befitting of a member of the royal family? Can anyone seriously take Harry seriously as a Council of State, shouldering the burden of 1,000 years of history as Britain's representative across the world? And Harry and Meghan are not exactly turning down the gas on their flamethrowing. Their client, journalist and professional lickspittle Omid Scobie, published a book in which he accidentally outed the King and Princess Catherine as racists. An implausible, ludicrous claim which unwittingly did more damage to the Sussex race smear than anything else. And they jetted to Jamaica to attend a movie premiere just as King Charles revealed he'd been treated in hospital for an enlarged prostate, posing for smiling photographs with the Jamaican Prime Minister who literally wants to abolish the monarchy. For Harry to now claim he's ready and willing to serve his country and his king is frankly an insult. We all know what this is really about. Netflix is reportedly planning to pull the plug.
Well, I keep hearing the same thing too. I'm here for that. I want to deep dive into that. It's on my list.
On Harry and Meghan's $100 million deal. Their series caused a lot of media outrage, but didn't even crack the top 200 shows on the platform last year. Spotify cancelled Meghan's dreary podcast. Without their royal links, the brutal reality is that Harry and Meghan are of no interest to anybody. And that's why they're rebranding, yet again, to double down on their dubious royal status. Their previous website, Archewell, inspired by their son Archie, now automatically redirects to sussex.com. A glossy picture of the couple dominates the main page, overlaid with a text to the office of Prince Harry and Meghan, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. The website has nothing to do with king and country or the royal family, and Harry and Meghan have no royal duties to speak of. They never put a shift in. They're brazenly exploiting the institution they simultaneously profit from trashing, and we're all being taken for the ride. The late Queen was right. They can't be half in, half out, and they're out. They sold their royal souls for life as reality stars, trading every private cough and splutter for cash. The King should now return the favour and strip them of their tenuous titles and end this Sussex circus for good.
God, I love this so much. Do you see why I had to react to it? I thought it was so well done. He did a brilliant job of roasting these two. Again, very much deserved. I'm thrilled. I'm so happy to see it. I couldn't agree more. Strip those titles. Yes, I know. I know. A lot of people get mad when I say that, and they say, no, she'll be Princess Henry. I don't care. It doesn't mean anything. It's even funnier with her feminist, quote-unquote, feminist cause. I'm using big air quotes on that one. They're ridiculous. They need to be stopped. This is just a plane crash that I can't look away from. But yay, Piers. I thought that was well done, well said, and everything that I think a lot of us are feeling right now. I truly hope you enjoyed this. I enjoyed reacting to this. And as they continue to do crazy things, I'll continue to talk about it. As always, thank you so much for being here. I truly appreciate you all so much. I really do. And I can't wait to read your comments on this one. I did mention in the community tab, I am working on a rebrand episode with their rebrand. So if you feel like it, you can either reply to this video or you can do it in the community tab you'll see it on the main page there where I post like, hey, we have a chat coming up, that sort of thing. You can post a rebrand that you can think of. I'm trying to compile a list. Thank you guys as always for being here. I appreciate you all so much, and I hope you have the best day. I'll talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.